Hello everyone, this is Anrew Wrobel, and today we are doing the first live on EE on location. We are in Tel Aviv. It's getting dark already, so hopefully we will be able to finish this short discussion before it gets completely dark. I am here with Marta Kaczmarek from EIT Health, and we've come to Tel Aviv to have a look at or take a deeper dive on the Israeli ecosystem and understand what has been happening here over the last 30 or even 70 years or over 70 years since the establishment of the state of Israel, that the nation has become so successful in technology, innovation, and that has actually become a startup nation. Marta, welcome to Live on E.
Thank you, Andrew. I'm really pleased that we can open this Emerging Europe Live together.
So this short discussion is supposed to take us to our takeaways after spending almost a week here in Tel Aviv. We've visited a number of different places, a number of different, also universities, locations, cities. We went to Haifa. And so when you look at the last, let's say, week, what would be your first biggest takeaway from this trip? And I'll share mine, I promise.
Okay, so before we will jump into the takeaways, I would say that the program that we are joining is called Mission Innovation, and it's powered by EIT Hub in Israel. This is our outreach location of European Institute of Innovation and Technologies. So thanks to this, we could experience this ecosystem, and actually they are the very first one-stop shop in Israel for EIT, a body of European Union. So
what's your takeaway?
My takeaway, so actually, I have three. Even though the week was full of experiences and I really, I feel like I deep dive here. So my first takeaway, and it was a bit surprising, is that a small world metaphor really exists. So actually, in case of Israel, I would say that the 6 degrees of separation, in case of Israel, it's even less. So this is Israel for sure is a small world type of network where everyone almost each other. So the links and connections are doing like that.
So I'm going to build on that because actually one of my takeaways is the power of networking here. I mean, the number of people that we met here over the last week is insane.
Exactly.
I don't think I have ever met so many different people within a very short period of time. And also, it is clear that they're all interested in sort of getting to know you, understanding, what kind of synergies there are. They want to be in touch. They want to get on WhatsApp straight away because they want to make sure that you are connected. So this is the first one. So we kind of agreed we have similar takeaways here. When it comes to the second takeaway, what's yours?
Okay, so my second takeaway would be experience.
Okay.
And maybe this is a bit cliche, but here I experienced this multiple times. So every experience matters more than 1,000 words. And here with a group of EU diplomats, we really had the fun and spectrum of different emotions, different experiences, as you mentioned, academia, top companies, different industries, different workshops, starting from the business-like workshop through branding, how to create the USP for the country. We had a pleasure to visit really inspiring people here and there. So I would say that if you want to, let's say, tell how the Israeli ecosystem looks like, you have to bring this person here. Otherwise, it will be like swimming on the surface.
So this is going to sound funny, but I am again going to build on what you just said because what I really liked from whatever I heard over the last week was failure. Here, and what is really this is really fascinating. Nobody is ever afraid of failing, and the funny thing is that not only are they not afraid to fail, but they're actually to some extent proud about it,
Yes.
of that, and they're eager to talk about it and share their experiences. Speaking about experiences, and there's even a conference here where those who actually, successful business people who clearly failed in the past, they are eager to share their experiences and these failures as well. And because nobody is afraid of failing, they keep on trying until they actually do it. And as they say, fake it till you make it. And we heard this expression a couple of times as well.
Yeah, what's more, I would say that I had the impression that these fails are included in the Gantt of the project. I mean, this is like another milestone, and this is for them the milestone. It's not like the end of the world, like for some
Which
Eastern.
would be the case in Central and Eastern
Yes.
Europe, and not only, also in Germany. We heard that from some of the participants that in Central and Eastern Europe, you're basically not supposed to fail, and if you fail, then it's almost the end of the world.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell me your third.
Okay,
biggest
the
takeaway.
third, and this is the last one. And again, it can sound a bit cliche, but it's not.
Mhm.
That small things make a big difference.
Yes.
And what I'm taking, and this is really like the kind of deep emotion, actually, I would say, is like be gentle, listen to people, try to understand their needs. It's not about like pushing your own ego and your own agenda in the discussion, but rather try to resonate and try to find this link between each other, and then we can start doing business, or even
The business will come on its own.
Yeah.
I think what you're referring to is our yesterday's meeting with Adi Rosenfeld, who is the honorary consul of Slovenia, or Israel to Slovenia, I should say, who basically shared his life story with us, and how he has helped by actually listening to people, how he has helped, do business, and he's got a huge group of people who have been helped by him. So I totally agree with that, because he made a huge impression on me, and the way he expressed himself, the way he told his story. I think it was a truly life-changing experience. I think when you also talked about how to, like, the small things, and then also listening to people. I think I would talk about the specific cultural differences that anybody who is ever interested in doing business in Israel have also has to keep in mind. And I have to tell you that when I arrived here, and this is not my first time to Israel, I was a little bit, maybe not shocked, but I was a bit confused in a way that perhaps people are being a little bit rude, and maybe not as polite as I would have expected them to be. But in fact,
especially if you come, for instance, from UK.
well, that's exactly where I flew from. But yeah, the thing is that it is actually the way they are here. So things like chutzpah, so being extremely direct, and being finding the bottom line, and what's in it for me, and trying to be very direct, like I said. This is something that we must not be afraid of if we want to come here and do business in Israel. I think I just recorded a podcast, so there's going to be more stuff and interesting hints and tips coming from that podcast next week. So stay with us, and thank you very much, Marta, for these takeaways, your takeaways, and I'm super glad that we have come here to Israel, because definitely we've learned a lot.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew, that you joined me in this adventure.
So thank you very much for joining us today for this first live on EE on location, because like I said earlier, we are in Tel Aviv.